My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. As I get to ride home with you in the afternoon, it's always so much fun. I've got my sidekick with me right now. This is Philip. This is my husband. And so we're partners in crime throughout this whole show, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you let me.
Are you kidding me? Everybody says this. They'll say, Phil, I bet you don't get a word in edgewise at home.
Oh, that's not a problem. We're always busy doing something.
Yeah. Well, I'm quiet when I'm at home.
She researches whatever she talks about. So any show, I guess you could say shooting from the hip, but she's been doing research. She sits down and every night she starts researching. She gets together what she wants, what she needs. So she's always busy.
Yeah, I'm always busy, and I'm always busy canning. And I love this Big Mama. You know what this is called, don't you?
Big Mama?
It's called a spaghetti squash. Now, he calls it Big Mama. But we've had them that are much bigger than this one right here. As a matter of fact, you're going to see it on the next, just a few videos that we've got up there and we've recorded for you. But before we get started with the video, let's talk about where you can find us. We are syndicated on Abundance Television, and that's found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Another television station you can find us is Channel 182 on Charter Communications. It's also part of the Spectrum Network. That's up in North Alabama. And another way you can find us is on the biggest country station and radio station, and that's in South Carolina, and it's WZLA. Make sure you check them out. You can check them out on the web. As a matter of fact, Benji and Lacey in the morning, we're talking about, we can't figure out, we're scratching our heads, how are we getting on these Alabama people? So, my friends, thank you so much for listening to their station. And it's the old country classics that you can find with that station. We definitely appreciate them doing that. So I like the older stuff, like Feels So Right from Alabama, and just a lot of those, Gilly and all those, a lot of those really good ones from the 70s. They're almost like a country rock. And I kind of like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's different kinds of country.
Absolutely. This bro country is what they're going on with right now.
Yeah, I'm not into bro country.
Like that.
So anyway, go ahead and check them out. Why did you mention this too? Because a lot of you guys have been mentioning and sending me email about, Donna, it's just too expensive to have a garden. I mean, by the time you buy the garden bed, by the time you get the soil, by the time you get this and get that, I hardly pay anything. Your first time around, you want to buy the beds, okay? And this is what everybody's been talking about. So if you'll check out that QR code that's just right up there, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're going to be able to get those raised beds right there at $20 off what we paid for them. And we got a good price for them.
Reckon we could take ours back and get them?
No, let's not do that. We've already, you'd have to take them apart. Would you want to take those things
apart? We're not
apart?
going to do that.
So it wouldn't be worth it. So go ahead and get them now while it's out of season. But you got the fall season coming up.
It doesn't matter if you want a big garden or a small garden. You can still use those beds.
Mm-hmm.
And we're coming up in maybe another video or later. We'll talk and show what we did with the smaller ones. Mm-hmm. That there's places for those too.
Yeah, but anything that grows low, like strawberries and stuff like that, you don't really want to put them in a big bed like this one that you can see behind us. But the smaller, what I mean by smaller, they're still wide. You get them 4 foot by 2.
4 by 2 by 1, I believe.
Okay.
I believe it's a little less than 1. Seems like it's 10 inches, but it could be a 12 inch. But that way, you don't need anything that's going to have to go way down in that, like our big beds do. And that's the reason for the difference.
Well, potatoes, you got to have a big, deep bed.
Absolutely. Potatoes, peanuts, sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes. It has to have plenty of room.
They got to have room to grow. They like to expand. But the neat thing about strawberries and anything like that that grows low, then just use the lower ones.
And we will put together one, and I'll show you what we did on that later.
We'll let you see that. But today we're talking spaghetti squash. And I really do. I like all kinds of squash, but now some folks like this guy right here are not really into the other squashes.
I never cared a whole lot for squash. Now, when she come up with the spaghetti squash, she uses that just like spaghetti and meatballs. It tastes, you can't tell the difference. You can't tell the, it may be a little crunchy on like the difference in the meat, and
texture.
And the oodles, noodles, or whatever you call it. Noodles. And see, she's got me hungry now. But the noodles are a little softer, I guess. But taste, can't tell the difference.
But now, I want the big beds for that, okay? So, right behind Phil is where we grow the spaghetti squash. You can see a little bit of it kind of back. Of course, you got to see a lot of other plants and stuff that are back there, too, probably taking over. But, so we got it growing there. I put 4 plants in a bed. And these things, they grow really big. There's a big stem on them because you can see it broke off. You'll know it is ready to pick. See how that looks right there? It's brown. Now this was almost a white color. So when it starts turning a yellowish color kind of, and this one's got a little bit of brown on it, there's nothing wrong with it. That just the way that it turned. But when it turns that color, let's go ahead and show them the video.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and explain the video. So we'll be right back in just a few minutes. So y'all hang in there with us, okay? Right back. Spaghetti squash. I can hardly wait for this to do its thing. Look how big these things are. Now they're not ready. They're huge. They're not ready. But you can see this one is turning a little on the yellow side. And what's going to happen is that stem up there is going to start turning brown. When that stem starts turning brown, we're going to have some spaghetti squash. And I'll show you how to cook with that. Now here's one right by it. And see, it's a little more of a white color. This one was white as well, but you can see the contrast between the two different colors. This one is going to be harvested first. They like full sun. More blooms are coming out, by the way. We're going to have more spaghetti squash, and we're going to know what to do with. Here's another one. As you can see how big she is. And so Phil's calling them the big mamas. And they are, and they just keep putting out. There's another one, I don't know if you can see it right back there. Here's another one. And we've got all kinds of little blooms and stuff coming out, so we're really excited about the spaghetti squash. What I'm going to do is once I get these harvested, they're still a couple months away, but when I get these things harvested, I'm going to make some spaghetti and meatballs out of the spaghetti squash. You're not using pasta that way. It's better for you. Of course, I like it either way, but those are really nice. So we'll have some stuff about spaghetti squash. Hey guys, so we have been out in the garden, and I just wanted to let you see what I can do with spaghetti squash. Now, you know, we've had the raised gardens. By the way, those raised gardens are on sale through Amazon, and you can find them through that link down there for only 59 bucks. I bought mine on sale for 89, the regular 179. So go ahead and check those out. We'll be talking about that a little bit further, but let's talk right now about spaghetti squash. Now, right now, I put aside some seeds. You know, you can roast these just like you do pumpkin seeds and anything else, and they're really good. So the quick recipe for this, you know, you got to wash them, get all that funky stuff, you know, it has all that stringy stuff in it. You need to get all of that stuff washed off, and you need to put it on a towel and let it set for just about an hour. They don't have to completely dry, but what I'll do later is put a little olive oil on those and a little salt and pepper. You can put garlic, pepper, garlic powder, anything that you'd like to use. The onion powder is really good with it. And if you want it to be just a little bit spicy, you can go with smoked paprika. And also put a little black pepper, cayenne pepper if you really want to go for it. And then Parmesan cheese is good. Sometimes I just use the powdered ranch dressing, and that goes really good, and it tastes so good. So what you want to do, again, clean the seeds. You want to dry them, pat them really dry with a towel like I've done right here. And then what you're going to do is just let them air dry for about 30 minutes to an hour. I'm doing an hour because I really think that the drier seeds are going to roast much more evenly. You're going to toss them with some olive oil and then whatever your favorite seasoning is. Now, it's really important that you preheat the oven to 325 degrees, and then you want to spread these in a single layer on a baking dish. Now I'm probably going to put them on this thing right here. You want to roast them 20 to 30 minutes. Give them a real good stir in about every 10 minutes or so. They're done when they're lightly golden and they're crunchy, and it's just a wonderful thing to snack on instead of potato chips, and you're going to like it even better. I'll go ahead and move this out of the way because the rest of this segment we're going to be talking about spaghetti squash. Spaghetti squash is is so good, really good for you as well. And I wanted to show you in just a minute what I put together for the spaghetti that we had a little bit earlier in the week, and it's right here. So this is spaghetti made from spaghetti squash. I'm just telling you, this stuff is good. You've got to roast this, okay, roast the spaghetti squash. Let me move this out of the way. Make sure that you cut it in half. Now I'm going to tell you, this thing could be a monster to cut in half. This outing right here is very, very hard. So what I had to do was start a slit in the middle right here, and I used my electric carving knife to do that. Then I couldn't finish it off. Phil had to do that. So what he did is he took one of his, it's like this sharpening tool that he has, and he cut it like right down the middle, and then we halved it. Now, clean it good, get all of the funky stuff out. This is where the seeds came from. And you want to get all of that loose, gunky stuff that's right on the inside. Okay, again, that's where the seeds came from. Now, what you're going to do is get some olive oil. I go with the best olive oil I can possibly afford. And you'll want to put that, use a brush if you can. You can find these really cheap brushes at the Dollar Tree, or you can just use a paintbrush that you use only in the kitchen. And you want to coat the inside of this. Now, make sure you use waxed paper, because you'll never get this clean. So you'll turn it over, and you'll have both halves upside down like this. Okay, so they're going to go in your oven. Now, I went on ahead and did it for like an hour because I really wanted this to be loosened up. And it's real important because this stuff is hot. I mean, it's hot to the touch. I let mine cool for just about an hour. So what I started doing, as you can see right here, I mean, this looks like pasta. And again, it's so much better for you. A lot of folks, have to watch their diet, and then when you're eating the pasta, made from bread or made from flour or whatever, it's just not as good for you. Now, I do love pasta. But let me go ahead and show you how you can turn this into spaghetti. You just need a good fork. I'll put this a little closer. By the way, this is my lavender seeds right here, or lavender flowers. Didn't they turn out great? And I'm just telling you, the house smells remarkable. Okay, all you've got to do is just go right here, dig it in right here with your fork, and pull it out. That's all you do. And look at that. You can do all kinds of things with this. It's good in soups. If you'd like to have chicken noodle soup without using pasta, you can use your spaghetti squash. And it has a good flavor to it. It's kind of a nutty-like flavor, which is what I like anyway. But that's all you do. Roast it about an hour, 425 degrees. Make sure you check your oven because all ovens vary. But here we go, look. This is awesome. And again, it tastes really good. Some people have asked me about using butter, and you can use butter, but I'm just telling you the best consistency comes from using olive oil. That's all you do. Now, I mentioned to you, you can do chicken noodle soup with this. There's all kinds of things you can do. But I'll tell you something else. You're going to have, like, one spaghetti squash is going to give you a lot of this. So, because as you start taking it apart, see, you've got a lot of this. You've got a lot of the pasta. And there you go. So what I always do, I like to put it in the freezer. So I'm going ahead and separate all of this. See how awesome it's just a good thing to do. And again, it's so good for you. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later in the segment, about the vitamins and things that are associated with it. But see, I've let it cool off real good. And again, there we go. This is pasta. I mean, this again makes real good spaghetti. If you'd like, you can make some chicken dishes out of it. If you'll go ahead and separate everything. See, it's best if you do it with your fingers, and that way you're not cutting it back. But here I'm separating it. So what you can do is just get like a can of condensed chicken soup, and put that together with a little bit of water. And then one thing you can do also is roast some chicken, and then you can put this with the chicken, the soup, the condensed soup, and put all of those things together, and you got a great dish right there. Sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese, or if you'd like, put a little cheddar cheese on top of it, and you got a great meal. And again, we put this in the freezer. All I've got to do is take it out. Now, by the way, you want this to be cooled off. Don't put it in there hot, because it can cause a little bit of freezer burn if you're not careful. And so we'll just put this in individual freezer bags, and then when I'm ready to cook, and I've been taping all day, and I want a meal, all I've got to do is take this out of the freezer, thaw it out, add a little chicken to it. I can add ground beef to it, which is what I did with the other dish, and you got a great meal. Or you can eat it just like it is. It's great that way as well. Thank you so much for watching.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. You know, finding the right home isn't just about bedrooms and square footage. It's about comfort, security, and the feeling you get the moment you walk through the door. That's why so many families across Greenwood and the Lakelands area trust Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams. And I'll tell you from personal experience, Jenny was my realtor, and she truly cares about her clients. Jenny takes the time to listen, to understand what matters most, and to guide you every step of the way, whether you're buying your first home, upgrading, or ready to sell. Because this isn't just a transaction, it's your life. With local knowledge, personal care, and a commitment to getting it right, Jenny Ferguson makes the process simple and even enjoyable. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, now's the time to make your move. Call Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams in Greenwood today and take the next step toward a place you'll truly love coming home to. Shine your style at Kiss My Glass right here in the Anderson Mall. There's a place where style meets sparkle. At Kiss My Glass, every piece is handcrafted, custom designed, and made to shine just like you. Owner Beth Gibson brings creativity to life with stunning custom tumblers, gifts, and one-of-a-kind pieces you won't find anywhere else. Look for the perfect gift or something uniquely you, from bold and glamorous to simple and elegant. There's something for every style, so stop by, get inspired, and leave with something unforgettable. Kiss My Glass inside the Anderson Mall, Anderson, South Carolina, where your sparkle begins. Be sure to check out Kiss My Glass on Facebook for updates and specials and gift ideas.
Okay guys, just wanted to show you what the spaghetti squash looks like. I love using the system, and what it does, it takes out all of the air, and it also gives it a real good seal. Now when I put things in the freezer, I kind of like to flatten them out, and then when, let's say the night before, we know we want some spaghetti, or we know we want some chicken noodle soup with a spaghetti squash, all I have to do is just take this out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator, and let it set overnight, and guess what? It thaws out, and you don't have to worry about anything being contaminated. But it thaws out super fast because, again, it's flattened. So just wanted to let you see what that looks like. I'm about to start in just a few minutes with our lunch today, which is going to be spaghetti made out of spaghetti squash. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with us in the commercials. You know, we've got some great sponsors who have been with us for absolute years, and we are so proud that they stayed with us. And another thing, if you'd like to advertise with us, just give me a call. No contracts, nothing like that. You just stay with us as long as you want to. And so we'll just be one big happy family there. But again, thank you so much for watching. So this is my spaghetti squash. It's almost like a football. Look at that. We could play football with that. Let's go out in the yard and play football.
That'd be heavier than football.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty heavy holding it up. I'm going to show you one more video, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you what the seeds look like when you roast them. We'll be right back. Okay guys, just wanted to show you what the spaghetti squash looks like. I love using the system, and what it does, it takes out all of the air, and it also gives it a real good seal. Now, when I put things in the freezer, I kind of like to flatten them out. And then when, let's say the night before, when we know we want some spaghetti, or we know we want some chicken noodle soup with the spaghetti squash, all I have to do is just take this out of the freezer, put it in the refrigerator, and let it set overnight, and guess what? It thaws out, and you don't have to worry about anything being contaminated. But it thaws out super fast because, again, it's flattened. So just wanted to let you see what that looks like. I'm about to start in just a few minutes with our lunch today, which is going to be spaghetti made out of spaghetti squash. Thank you again so much for watching. Man, that was good too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And you can put so many different things with that. This is the spaghetti I really super like, and it has a good texture to it. And again, it's good for you. It's something the kids are going to like. You know, but don't tell them it's good. Don't even tell your husband it's good for him, you know, because you know how kids and husbands are. Yeah, we won't even go there. But one more thing I want to show you, and we'll start talking a little bit more about the gardening and what we've done. These are the roasted seeds. So what I did, it was a real easy thing to do. I put them on wax paper, I put them in the oven for just a few minutes, and they roasted. Now, you know they're roasted. It's all going to depend on your oven. Mine doesn't get that hot, but when they turn kind of a golden brown and they have a crunch to them, you know they're good. These are really good to snack on, and they smell good. Now, any flavor you'd like, if you want it hot, you can use some chili pepper. Put that in there. I like it hot. He does.
If you like really, really hot, you put cayenne pepper.
Yeah, cayenne pepper, and we did the cayenne pepper powder. So we make a powder out. In the garden, I don't know if you can see into the pepper plants back there. They're probably on the other side over there. But we have pepper plants, and what we do with those, we'll just wash the peppers off really good, let them dry on a towel, and then you want to put those in your dehydrator and let those things get crispy. You don't want no moisture to them whatsoever. So when they're crispy, you can just, it's like a potato chip. Okay, so you just do it like this, and it's ready. And then another thing I do, I've got my Vitamix. And I love the Vitamix. You can find that also on that Q code up there. And that's one of the things that we got at Amazon. Now, this Vitamix, the one I got, costs a lot less than this. No, it was nowhere near $1,000. Yep. But it is a good one. And I think it's around $200, wasn't it? Maybe just a little bit over that. But a little bit over $200 for a Vitamix. And it's not used. It was a brand new one. So I'll go ahead and put the peppers into the Vitamix, and I'm just telling you, that thing, it really grinds it down. So it's a powder. Now that powder, I can sprinkle the powder on items like this. Some people put it on their French fries. I like to put it in the salves that I make. And so I have a salve I make that's made with beeswax, and also I put comfrey on it as well, comfrey plant, and I also get the powder from the peppers, and I let that soak in a real good olive oil. And it's got to soak there for at least 3 months before I'll start using it. And then what I'll do is I'll drain it out, and I'll have another show, and I'll let you see how I do that. But this cayenne pepper, this salve is, and you can use any kind of pepper as long as it's hot. You can use that on if you have arthritis, because I was having a problem bending my fingers all the way down like this, especially right here, the knuckle finger. It's just many years of grinding things, just putting a lot of pressure on my fingers. But see, now I can put my hands all the way down, all my fingers, so they go all the way down now. So if you're having some problems with arthritis, one of our friends, is having a problem with, was in a car accident. David was in a car accident, and I'm going to tell you what, it did a number on his legs. And so it keeps the swelling down.
Yep.
And they said they've tried everything and it just wouldn't work. And so they tried that and the swelling goes down.
That's correct. Almost to see it going down when they put the stuff on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't know it was going to work that fast. But I knew it would work, but I didn't know it was going to work that fast. But I think what also helps is not only do I have the cayenne pepper oil, or the pepper oil, I also use comfrey oil. And comfrey is like for everything. I mean, it's like, if I could only have one herb, I know I say this about everything I have, but if I could only have one herb, it's got to be in the top 5. I've got to have comfrey plant. And they're big leaves. I mean, they're like really huge. And they're also good to use in your garden. You're going to cut them up, and I'm just going to tell you, the chickens love it. Chickens go crazy. Now, we planted some comfrey seeds out close to it's a tree that was already in the garden, and it's back that way. And so it looked dead. I mean, I didn't think it was going to live. I didn't think it was going to make it because you were seeing dead branches all over it. So tell everybody what you did with that apple tree.
The apple tree, part of it was dead, but the way the other limbs, I guess the new stuff come in, it come in and went around it. So you couldn't get in there, or can't get in there right now, to cut the dead part off. So the other stuff just grew up and just blossomed out like it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So when everything goes down to pruning stage, whether the season's done, then I will get in there and cut the dead part off of that and still have, and that's what you do on when you're pruning as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then another tree was the plum tree.
Plum tree, yeah.
Now what we did with the plum tree, we planted some comfrey seeds. And I've never had luck with comfrey seeds. I've always used the roots to propagate. But those seeds came up, and I've got a feeling you're going to have some nice plums next year.
We had one plum this year.
It was one out of a tree that we really thought was dead. So we thought, what have we got to lose? Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, guys, we're going to have to call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. We talked a bit about spaghetti squash, my biggie baby right here. We're going to play football with it after the show. And the spaghetti seeds, the spaghetti squash seeds, those turned out really good. And another thing that we talked about is just plain old stuff out in the garden. If you have any questions for me, please send an email, Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. Appreciate you watching. Thanks.
Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles, and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now, the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now, that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakeland's Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of MyPillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all MyPillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. Or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.